Bourne?
I want to come in.
It looks like the casting for Bourne 6 might just hit the mark, continuing a 27-year trend with Matt Damon. With Nicky Parsons out of the picture, it seems like the new film will introduce a fresh love interest for Bourne. Damon himself has mentioned he's as eager as fans are for the next installment. So here's the scoop on what we know so far about the upcoming movie. Matt Damon has shared that he hasn't been given any detailed information about Bourne 6 yet. However, he did mention that Edward Berger, the director of All Quiet on the Western Front, has an idea for the film and is working on it. Damon expressed his enthusiasm for Berger's vision and his eagerness to see how it unfolds. Here's what Damon had to say. "No details have been given to me. There's a great director named Edward Berger who directed All Quiet on the Western Front. I don't know if you saw it, but it's fantastic. A German director, he's wonderful. He mentioned he had an idea for Bourne 6 and I'd love to work with him. So he's working on it, and I'm as anxious as you are to see how it turns out. I hope it's great and that we can make it happen. At some point, someone will need to take it over. I'm not getting any younger." One question that pops up a lot is why having Edward Berger direct Bourne 6 is such a big deal. Well, Berger is a talented director whose style could really mesh well with the action-packed Bourne series. So far, the Bourne franchise has delivered 5 films: The Bourne Identity, The Bourne Supremacy, The Bourne Ultimatum, The Bourne Legacy, and Jason Bourne. Except for The Bourne Identity and The Bourne Legacy, the Bourne movies have been under the helm of Paul Greengrass. Greengrass, known for his high-pressure dramas like Captain Phillips and United 93, really elevated the Bourne series by adding intense dramatic stakes. Edward Berger, with his work on All Quiet on the Western Front, brings a lot to the table. His knack for grand production design and impressive camera work was evident in that film, and he skillfully wove these elements into a gripping war narrative. This expertise could translate beautifully to the Bourne franchise, adding a fresh and compelling dimension. While Universal has confirmed that Bourne 6 is in the works, we're still waiting on details about the cast and release date. It will be interesting to see if Damon returns for this installment. Of the 5 Bourne films, only The Bourne Legacy shifted focus away from Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne brought Damon back, suggesting that the series might be gearing up for another return to its roots. A major casting choice for Jason Bourne 6 could mark a full-circle moment in Matt Damon's impressive career. Since making waves with Good Will Hunting in 1997, Damon has solidified his place as one of Hollywood's top actors. His status soared further with the Bourne franchise, and he's also starred in classics like The Talented Mr. Ripley, Saving Private Ryan, Ocean's 11, and The Departed. Damon last reprised his role as Jason Bourne in the 2016 reboot, but he stayed busy with other projects like Ford vs. Ferrari, Air, and the Oscar-winning Oppenheimer. His various cameos have become iconic, but whether he'll return for Bourne 6 remains unconfirmed. His next film appearance is set for John Krasinski's If, hitting theaters in May 2024. A tantalizing prospect for Bourne 6 would be casting Ben Affleck as the new antagonist. Damon and Affleck's long history of collaboration and friendship, starting with background roles in Field of Dreams and moving through iconic projects like Good Will Hunting, Chasing Amy, Dogma, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, makes this idea particularly exciting. After a long hiatus, the duo reunited in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, The Last Duel, and Air. They're also set to collaborate on Doug Liman's The Instigators, with Affleck producing, Damon starring, and Casey Affleck writing the screenplay. The idea of having Affleck face off against Damon in Bourne 6 would be a thrilling twist. Affleck's joking claim that he could beat up Damon in a fight adds a fun layer to their friendly rivalry. As a former Batman, Affleck would make a compelling adversary for Damon's Bourne, and their on-screen showdown would be an event fans and media alike would eagerly anticipate. Having Affleck as the villain could elevate Bourne 6 into a major cultural event, much like the buzz around 2023's Barbenheimer. The promotional build-up would be like a high-stakes UFC match, creating a humorous, real-life rivalry between the two Oscar winners. Even when playing villains, Affleck has a knack for eliciting audience sympathy, making his role in Bourne 6 a must-watch. Thanks to Nicky, Bourne had a crucial love interest throughout the franchise's first 3 movies and the 2016 reboot. In spy movies, a reliable love interest can provide a much-needed counterbalance to the genre's inherent paranoia and bleakness. Nikki's presence helped humanize Bourne, whose character could have otherwise remained a cold, clinical figure. Her ties to the CIA kept the story moving swiftly and gave Bourne someone he could trust amid the chaos. Originally, Nikki was set to be killed off in the first draft of the Bourne identity, a move intended to subvert the typical love interest trope. Thankfully, the franchise chose to keep her around, adding depth to Bourne's character and his storyline. Now, with Nikki's role having ended, Bourne 6 will need to introduce a new character to fill that void. Finding a new love interest who can establish a compelling dynamic with Bourne is crucial, as seeing him operate alone might feel both melancholic and somewhat uninteresting. The challenge lies in creating a new character who can effectively replace Nikki without dragging down the story. Unlike James Bond, who often charms his way through encounters, Bourne isn't known for his charisma, which makes it harder to imagine him quickly warming up to a new love interest. The film will need to carefully develop this new relationship to maintain the emotional depth and intrigue that Nikki brought to the series. Bourne and Nikki's relationship was deeply rooted in their shared trauma, and some of their most memorable moments were surprisingly dark. This intense connection added depth to Bourne's character and provided a crucial emotional anchor. Given the franchise's established tone, which tends to veer into serious and often grim territory, Bourne 6 will face a tough challenge in introducing a new love interest who can resonate with Bourne in a similar way. The reboot not only has to find a way for Bourne to open up to a new character, but also needs to craft a compelling new storyline for him. Balancing these two tasks will not be a small feat. Bourne's character is known for his stoic nature, and getting him to form a meaningful relationship with someone new could feel forced or unconvincing if not handled carefully. The challenge is amplified by the fact that the reboot must also reinvigorate the character of Jason Bourne, ensuring that he feels relevant and engaging for audiences once again. Replacing Nikki while maintaining the franchise's established tone and crafting a fresh storyline for Bourne presents a significant challenge. The reboot needs to navigate these complexities thoughtfully to ensure that the new dynamics fit seamlessly into the world of Bourne while honoring the character's past relationships and experiences. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. What are your thoughts on the potential new love interest for Jason Bourne in Bourne 6? Do you think the reboot can handle this shift effectively, or will it struggle to replace Nikki's role? Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.